Ron Masali, welcome to Business Insider and the salubrious surrounds of Holstone Bellinova.
Thank you very much for the invite.
It's a pleasure, it's a pleasure. You are a relatively new arrival on the coast, I guess. How long have you been here?
I don't know if you call me new. I've been living on the coast for 18 years now.
Okay.
I did grow up in Sydney in the Coogee area, and then moved to Newcastle for a couple of years, and then my in-laws actually were living on the Central Coast, and we decided to migrate down from Newcastle and never looked back since then. It's a beautiful part of the world, and I wouldn't go anywhere else.
And you wouldn't buy 8 going to 10 restaurants in any other part of Australia?
Absolutely not.
And we should talk, we haven't introduced you as McDonald's owner.
Yes.
Or licensee for the...
Yes, I've been with McDonald's for 28 years now. I started in the restaurants, cooking hamburgers and serving customers, and worked my way up through the ranks into management, and then into head office at Thornley, and all the way through to vice president and regional manager for New South Wales, and that period was 22 years. And then 6 years ago, I decided to, I believed so much in the product, I bought the restaurants.
We shared that.
Yes,
indeed.
I bought 4 restaurants on the Central Coast, and I've now grown to 8, and we've got 2 more coming up in this year and next year.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to talk, because your exposure to New South Wales and the ACT as Vice President in charge of those areas, you look at those markets, or those key markets. When you were coming here, you had 4, you started with 4 restaurants. Is there anything there, Ron, in this market that has surprised or challenged you?
No, look, I love this. I love the Central Coast because I think it's a great lifestyle to have, and a great place to raise children. But I think there's a lot of potential, untapped potential on the Central Coast, and I think what we lack is development and the confidence for developers to come back to the coast. I think it's a shame that we have tens of thousands of people commuting on the freeway every day to go to Sydney to work, instead of actually working there where they live. And I think that's our biggest opportunity. But I think there's massive potential for us, and I think we've got the opportunity to one day turn the Central Coast into the Gold Coast of Sydney. And
I'd love to pick on probably 3 or 4 of the things you mentioned there. The lack of confidence. What does that mean to you? What are you getting at there?
I think developers have walked away from the coast because of the bureaucracy that's involved in getting developments up and running, and maybe the slowness of it. But I think that's slowly changing. I'd like the councils, and without upsetting anybody, to act.
We may not, but we may. But no, they need to be told.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They definitely need to act a lot quicker than what they are, and encourage more development. And in saying that, I actually commend them on the waterfront project, and I hope that we get that up and running sooner rather than later.
Okay. Now, with those developers, does the development start at retail level, or does development start at residential? How do you see that?
It's both.
Right.
I think, from my perspective, to me, opening new restaurants is development itself. We're going to put millions of dollars into both those communities, one at Lisro, one at Yamina. We're going to create over 100 jobs in each area. And we're going to help the community grow over the next 20 years while we work side by side with the people who live in those areas.
And the employment you give to our youth is critical, I think.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got 2 kids that both boys that started working for me in McDonald's when they were 14 years old, and both of them, one of them now a chef, and the other one is finishing high school this year and wants to come and work in the business with me. But what I love about the opportunities we give the kids of today is McDonald's gives them an opportunity to experience what real world's about. It gives them the opportunity to realise the value of the dollar. It teaches them discipline, and it gives them unprecedented training and gets them ready for the real world. And I think you'll find any employer that is hiring anyone that has a McDonald's background goes directly to that individual straight away.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In accelerating the council's approval processes, and I think they are picking up their speed there a little, Are there specific areas, without upsetting anyone, that you could focus on and say we need to? Because we hear everyone talk about red tape. You know, we hear the politicians talk about red tape, but it still seems to mount up to me, right?
It's across the board, Mark. So I mean, it's just a slow process that, to me, there are some hurdles that need to be removed. But I'm not the expert in that area. I think right now the councillors, a majority of them are trying to move things along. But like anything, I think a lot of people don't like change, and it takes some time to accept it, and that's part of the problem that we've got. The Central Coast, like I said, has enormous potential, but the quicker that everybody embraces that, the quicker we'll actually move on and grow and provide benefits for everybody that lives and works on the Central Coast.
Well, you've got two areas there. Your minor, and we have had commentary about what is almost a success story, a case study that is in council focus from the grassroots up, basically saying we can build this.
Absolutely.
And Lisero is kind of at the other end of that, I would have thought, not quite as progressive. Are there without tipping your hand, are there other places? No, we best not go there. I was about to ask, are there other places you've got lined up? We might leave that for another time.
From a McDonald's perspective? Oh, look, I don't mind sharing that. McDonald's, the McDonald's Australia in head office chooses the sites, and they have a plan that they work on and review on an annual basis. But right now, the two sites they're working on is Lisero and Umina. But any other future sites, I'd say to you, majority of the growth right now is happening in the Wyong region, in the Warnervale area. If that Warnervale development ever goes ahead, there's definitely potential for McDonald's in that area there.
Indeed, indeed. Okay. If we talk about corporate mentality, and you're developing that with 8 going to 10 stores, how do you get that? There are opportunities for businesses on the Central Coast who aspire to be serious businesses. Are there places that the people like you could recommend that they spend time? Should they all become choose you as a mentor, for instance? I'm not advocating that, but
look, I'm happy to talk to anyone to help them grow their own business. But there's to me the best way to grow. I mean, I've been lucky. I've been lucky enough to have had mentors across my career.
I need to just pick you up there on. We don't accept luck here. You've worked hard. You have worked for 22 years in probably what I would suggest is one of the toughest, most professional environments I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
From an outsider looking at McDonald's.
So
no luck's involved with where you've got to.
I've had the privilege of working with incredible leaders like Peter Ritchie and Bob Mansfield and Charlie Bell, and they were my mentors. And to me, that instilled a passion in me for success, and that's what drives me. I want to be successful, and I'm never satisfied with where I'm sitting. So I look for new ways to improve the business on a regular basis. And to me, that's how I've grown. It's by looking at people who are successful and picking one or two things that they've implemented, and I try to implement them as well. So that's the suggestion I give most business people is if you're starting out, find somebody in your business that's actually been there for a long time and has succeeded, and go spend time with them. It's better than any course you could do.
And most of those people, like every one of the mentors you've had, will give their time.
Absolutely.
As long as they're serious and committed to moving forward.
Because to me, if I can help somebody else improve their business, then in our community, we're all going to benefit from it, because it'll create work and it'll create competition, and that means the consumer benefits out of it, because with more competition, we all sharpen our pencils and we all try to do better.
Indeed. Let's say the next 12 months you'll have hopefully 2 new stores. What else do you overlay on the running of the other 8, or what would you like to bring into your business over the next 12 months, 18 months?
The main focus for me in my business is talent management. It's making sure that I've got the people that I need to deliver the results on a daily basis, and that's a success in any business. People are a key ingredient to success. And that's what I spend most of my time on, developing the people to get them to empower them and to give them the tools and resources to achieve the end result that I'm after, for the business to continue to be successful.
We hear a lot about, and I realise that McDonald's is not a franchise system, but it is a system, and we talk about the system. Why has it endured, do you think, when many others fail or stumble? But McDonald's is McDonald's, isn't it?
Look, McDonald's is an outstanding brand, and the reason why it's been around for such a long time, I mean, in Australia, McDonald's has been around for 40 years now. And the key is that we've always listened to the customers, you know. We do regular research, and whatever feedback we get from that research, we implement over a period of time. So I think you've probably seen the journey that Macca's has been on. We've reinvented ourselves and reinvented the brand and the experience the customer gets. So it's no longer just a hamburger, fries and a Coke. We've got hamburgers, we've got wraps, we've got salads, we've got McCafes, we've got...
You've got breakfast.
No
one ever would eat out of home.
Yes,
I was around when that happened,
that's right.
and you know, so commitment, vision.
Absolutely, and a focus, a continual focus on the customer, you know, and that's the most important part of the business, because with our customers we won't be around.
Indeed. 18 years, a bit of a rant. We give you a soapbox to stand on, an opinion to share with the rest of us. Ron Marsali, is there something that gets up your nose when it comes to business here on the coast? What would you like to see change? Other than red tape, I've taken that away from you.
I don't know if there's anything that gets up my nose. Right. I mean, I don't let things frustrate me. I take it as a challenge and try to address it and move it along with it. So no, nothing really gets up my nose. I would love to see the coast grow and thrive and develop into a bigger community than what it is today, because I think we can show the rest of New South Wales how strong we are.
McDonald's has always had a trust bank, a community focus. Yes. How important is that in what you guys do here on the coast? Oh,
extremely important. I mean, we strongly believe in giving back to the community that we work in and operate in. And to give you an example of that, this year I've been working on a project for 2 years now, and it's going to come to fruition this year, and we're building a family room at Gosford Hospital right next to the kids ward. And a family room is like a lounge room with a small kitchen, a laundry, and an area where you can have a nap for 30 or 40 minutes. And it's an opportunity for the parents that have sick kids in the wards to just take a break for an hour or two and go have a cup of coffee, watch TV, and just smell the roses again, if I can use that terminology.
It's an opportunity to sleep for 30 or 40 minutes. There's a chance.
Correct, and that excites me, because I think it's a really good thing that we're doing with them.
Yeah, and it comes back to, if you have a challenge, you meet it.
Absolutely.
And it's only taken you 2 years.
Yes. Thank you.
And I am sure it's been on occasions worthy of giving up, but you don't. Well, I shouldn't give you a rap, but it's McDonald's. You've been here, 22 years. It gets into your blood, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I'm still trying to shake the disease from the mid.
We say we have Mac sauce in our blood.
Indeed. It's a topical question. We've been asking about the business chambers and business groups and the diversity that there are on the coast. Do you get involved with that, or do you create your own, or?
I get involved through meeting people and business people through various functions, but I'm actually not a member of any of the chambers or anything like that. I've given talks to the Rotary Club a couple of times, but no, only through contacts that I actually meet and greet people, and to me it's through networking with other business people. But yes, something that probably I should do in the future, but I haven't got around to it.
But indeed, I'm an advocate that we create our own networking groups,
yes.
and you've done it with your mentors, and so everyone to their own. Let's all share that.
Exactly. Thank you very much, mate.
Thank you.